Never in my life have I seen a presidential administration that is so out of touch with reality on a daily basis. In the middle of the night, Donald Trump sent a tweet so bizarre that I genuinely wonder if he has some level of schizophrenia at this point. At the same time, Pete Hegseth and JD Vance are doing interviews back to back, like days apart, and directly contradicting each other. What is going on with this administration? Why is nobody on message? And I want to walk through this all in this video. Let's just start off with this insane post that Trump made late last night. I'm going to read it, and I want you guys to try to figure out what's wrong with it by the time I'm done reading it, and we'll see if it's obvious. He said, "The Biden FBI placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. If this is so, which it is, a lot of very good people will be owed big apologies. What a scam. Do something." Okay, first of all, who is he asking to do something? You're the president of the United States and you have all of these agencies under your thumb. But secondly, the first line here, the Biden FBI placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. Buddy, on January 6th of 2021, you were still the president of the United States. The FBI director was your hand-picked director who was loyal to you throughout this entire process. The idea that the Biden FBI even existed at this time is not true. When Biden did get into office, he did not take the FBI under his thumb in the same way that Donald Trump did. So there never was a Biden FBI. But just to back up, do you know how many times Donald Trump has messed up names or timelines or some sort of key information since he's taken office? I mean, Governor Gavin Newsom is currently suing Fox News because Fox News couldn't get the timeline right of a phone call that Trump and Gavin Newsom had. Then a few days later, Trump lied about this timeline over and over. This dude has no clue what he's talking about, but it seems to be a common theme among the administration. Pete Hegseth very confidently says there will be a Qatari Air Force facility put in the state of Idaho. Well, today, JD Vance contradicts him live on air. First, let's start with MAGA Pete Hegseth, then we'll get to JD Vance.
No one other than President Trump could have achieved the peace that we believe will be a lasting peace in Gaza. And Qatar played a substantial role from the beginning, working with our folks to ensure that came about. So I want to thank you for that historic piece. We look forward to joining the president as that gets, it's already been delivered, but as that's formally signed as well. And I'm also proud that today we're signing a letter of acceptance to build a Qatari Emiri Air Force facility at the Mountain Home Air Base in Idaho. The location will be host a contingent of Qatari F-15s and pilots to enhance our combined training, increase lethality, interoperability. It's just another example of our partnership. And I hope you know, Your Excellency, that
even Pete Hegseth seems uncomfortable saying this, but let me point out this partnership. On one hand, training exercises happening in the United States, that's not very uncommon. We train with NATO allies a lot. We have fighter jets training and pilots training. But what Pete Hegseth says in this clip is something different. He says there's going to be an entire military base in the state of Idaho. That is absurd, especially when you take into context the way that Trump and the Qataris have been dealing with each other over the past few months. For example, 2 months ago, a $5.5 billion Trump golf course was announced in Qatar, in the country of Qatar, funded by the government. Then, 2 months before that, Trump gets a $400 million jet that is currently being refurbished that after his term will be donated to his presidential library. These are direct gifts to the President of the United States. It becomes increasingly clear that they are intentionally courting Donald Trump through gifts, and Donald Trump will ignore the fact that they fund terrorist organizations, will ignore the fact that they fund actually Hamas. They literally fund Hamas. And yet he's like, I just want a golf course over there and I'll give them whatever in return. So JD Vance hops on Fox News and contradicts what Pete Hegseth said about a new military base. And then he says the mainstream media has been reporting it wrong. But I just showed you the clip of Pete Hegseth using these very words. Take a listen.
What is the function of this Qatar facility? People are wondering, is this an air base? What is Qatar going to be developing in Idaho?
Yeah, I saw some reporting about this, Maria. I actually talked to the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, this morning. This is largely a fake story. We continue to have with countries that we work with. We have relationships where, sometimes their pilots work on our bases, sometimes that we train together, sometimes we work together in other ways. The reporting that somehow there is going to be a Qatari base on United States soil, that's just not true. We are continuing to work with a number of our Arab friends to ensure that we are able to enforce this peace, but we're not going to let a foreign country have an actual base.
J.D. Vance goes on to say in other clips, the reporting is faulty. The reporting on this is false. But as I just showed you, the words Air Force Base came out of Pete Hegseth's mouth. So either Pete Hegseth was lying, either Pete Hegseth had no clue what he was talking about, or J.D. Vance is now lying and trying to cover face for Pete Hegseth. It is so incredibly sloppy. This entire administration doesn't even know what's going on a day-to-day basis. Let me prove this even further. Donald Trump just sent out this post moments ago. It says, the Ukraine impeachment of me scam was a far bigger illegal hoax than Watergate. It was not. I sincerely hope the necessary authorities, including Congress, are looking into this. Adam Shifty Schiff was so dishonest and corrupt. So many laws, protocols were violated, just plain broken. Okay, here's the President of the United States starting with the assumption that somebody is guilty before they even have any sort of trial. In America, you are innocent until proven guilty unless the President of the United States is actively posting about your name online. And you know what? A few weeks ago, Donald Trump posted 3 names on his Truth Social account and said they need to be indicted. It was James Comey, that's a check. It was Letitia James, that's a check, that's happened. And it was Adam Schiff. And now we see him doubling down on Adam Schiff. There is a very real chance we see Adam Schiff indicted over the next few months because Donald Trump is directly targeting him. So this admin is not only a mess, they're authoritarian, but we need to continue to call this out on a daily basis. If you appreciate the work that we do on the Adam Mockler channel, make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe below. We have an amazing debate show dropping over the next week or two. So if you want to be there for the debate show and the launch of it, make sure you have post notifications turned on. I love you all and peace out.